and the government agrees.
He's a dangerous man!
Hey, yo, check this out. This is Flavor Flav, and if you want the whole truth and nothing but the whole truth, so help the whole truth. Hey, yo, you better listen to Dante, baby. Dante!
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So Chris Algieri, who just had a fight with Manny Pacquiao, he does a recent interview where he talks about the possible Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight. Now, just like the vast majority of the boxing community, Chris Algieri, he believes that Manny Pacquiao not only loses, but he loses in a non-competitive fight against Floyd Mayweather. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and quote exactly what Chris had to say. Neither guy's in their prime. They're both fantastic fighters, but it's also about styles. Manny is a great fighter, but I don't think he's going to match up well with Floyd's particular style. I don't think it's going to be a particularly exciting fight, and I don't think it's going to be a competitive fight. I've got Floyd winning that fight. Manny would definitely make it somewhat interesting, but I see Floyd taking the fight. End quote. Now, although I agree that Floyd Mayweather should beat Manny Pacquiao pretty decisive, I mean, I see Manny Pacquiao making some rounds, some early rounds, competitive. But overall, I see Floyd Mayweather dominating Manny Pacquiao eventually. Now, I disagree with Chris Algieri when he says the fight won't be exciting. I think that's code words for Floyd Mayweather is going to win, and a lot of people don't want him to win the fight, okay? Because I can tell you right now, it's almost impossible for a Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao fight to not be exciting. Now, the casual fan's idea of excitement is usually watching a fighter make a mistake, like getting hit, getting knocked down, getting knocked out, busted lip, bloody nose, so on and so forth, right? Now, in football, that would be equivalent to fumbling the ball, getting sacked, getting hit real hard to where you damn near got to be pulled out on a stretcher, right? So when fighters make mistakes, that draws excitement in the sport of boxing, which is the exact reason why there's no way Mayweather versus Pacquiao cannot be exciting. Because when you have Manny Pacquiao in a ring, you best believe there's going to be some fumbles, there's going to be some interceptions, there's going to be some sacks. In other words, we know that Manny Pacquiao is going to be making mistakes in the fight. He's going to be getting hit. He's going to be getting busted up with certain punches, okay? And I wouldn't be surprised if Floyd Mayweather gets caught with a couple shots. And Floyd Mayweather, he may just fumble the ball every now and then. I mean, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the reaction of the crowd when Floyd Mayweather fights, but at least in his last 5 fights, I mean, in between rounds, you have standing ovations, you have the crowd cheering, you've had a lot of chants of USA lately. Have you guys noticed that? In Floyd Mayweather's last couple fights, there have been strong chants of USA. It's funny because I remember back in the day, you would hear a couple people chanting USA and it would get drowned out. But I'm starting to notice the chants of USA are getting stronger and stronger, louder and louder when Floyd Mayweather fights. You know, and we've heard the commentators constantly say, this is exciting. You know, it's funny because I've heard commentators all the way from Jim Lampley to Larry Merchant to now Al Bernstein and Ronaldo. I've heard him say in Floyd Mayweather's last 3-4 fights, this fight is exciting, this is toe-to-toe, so on and so forth, okay? They said this in the Canelo fight, in the first Maidana fight. Larry Merchant said it in the Victor Ortiz fight. They said it in the Cotto fight. So, you know, this is, of course, just a situation of Mayweather being on a coincidental list. Whatever your eyes see, your heart tells your eyes and your brain not to believe it because you are emotionally attached towards Floyd Mayweather. The point that I'm making is if you're not rooting for Mayweather and Mayweather is dominating the guy that you want to win, of course it's going to be boring. Why would it be exciting for you to watch your team lose, right? For example, I mean, how many times have you watched a football game or a basketball game and your team is getting destroyed and it's only 2 minutes left and you know your team is not going to catch up? How many times do you say, fuck this, man, I'd rather just turn the damn channel? You don't even want to watch the whole thing. Why? Because your team is losing. Is that exciting to watch? No, it's depressing, right? So, of course, people are going to say that, yeah, it's not going to be, exciting because the wrong guy is going to win, right? The home team is not going to win. The wrong guy is going to win. And that's the reason why people say the fight won't be exciting. Now, I could tell you right now, if somebody came along, let's say Carlos Molina, for example, or Miguel Vasquez, because these are two fighters that are not known to be that exciting. Let's say these guys got in the ring with Floyd Mayweather and won a split decision in one of the most boring fights you have ever seen in your life. Do you think anyone would be complaining how boring the fight was? Absolutely not. People would be so ecstatic that all they would be thinking about is the fact that Floyd Mayweather lost. Because that's what people want to see. People want to see Floyd lose. They don't care how he loses. They just want to see the L on his record. Floyd Mayweather can get DQ'd in an extremely controversial fight. But as long as he has that L on his record, the fans would be happy. It's funny how these fans, they claim, oh, it doesn't mean anything that you're undefeated and so on and so forth. But deep down, these fans are pissed off that he's undefeated because they want to see an L on his record so bad. So like I always say on my videos, don't believe that when you hear some dumbass fan say it's more important to be exciting than it is to actually win. Or all of the greats have lost, so Floyd Mayweather needs to lose so he can be great. Because those same people who say that, those are the ones deep down that care nothing but winning. They want the win no matter what. The only time the win is not that important to these type of fans is when their fighter loses, right? You go back to the Oscar De La Hoya versus Trinidad fight. Now, and if we would have replaced Oscar De La Hoya that night with someone from the coincidental list like Erislandy Lara, and he was fighting against Tito Trinidad the same way De La Hoya did, you guys remember in that fight, Oscar De La Hoya, he went 3 whole rounds not throwing any punches and just constantly moving. Imagine if that was Lara who fought Trinidad that way. People would be saying he doesn't deserve to win. He's a runner, Cuban school, and this and that, and so on and so forth. He's boring and all of this stuff. They would have said he deserves to lose. It doesn't matter what he did before. He deserves to lose, right? But when Oscar De La Hoya did this, all they talked about was the fact that Oscar was robbed. If you talk to someone about that Oscar De La Hoya Trinidad fight today, I guarantee you the only thing they will bring up is the fact that Oscar was robbed. Notice the same type of fans who call Floyd Mayweather boring, Erislandy Lara boring. They didn't call Oscar De La Hoya boring. They didn't say, oh man, that was a terrible, boring fight. Oscar De La Hoya, I would never watch him again. All he did was run. He didn't deserve to win a fight. How you going to win a championship by doing nothing but running? Keep in mind, guys, even before the last 3 rounds, Oscar was moving the entire night in that fight. Okay? So, my point once again is, so at the end of the day, all these boxing fans really care about deep down is getting the win. They'll tell you some bullshit like they don't care about it, but let their fighter not get the win, and then you're going to see how much they really care about wins and losses. Something else I want to touch on. Now, because I know the way decafs think, I already know what they're going to say, so let me go ahead and respond to it. Some of the decafs are going to post messages and they're going to say, Well, Chris Algieri, he just got his ass whooped by Manny Pacquiao. So his opinion doesn't matter, right? Like all of a sudden when you lose to someone, you can't have an opinion that makes sense anymore. But yet, if this same fighter who lost to Manny Pacquiao said Floyd Mayweather would win, they'd be saying, oh yeah, Chris Algieri, he know his damn boxing, right? We know what time it is. But anyway, I mean, let's just look at this for a second. Chris Algieri was in the ring with Manny Pacquiao. Chris Algieri is a thinker in the ring. He is a boxer. The problem Chris Algieri had in the ring with Manny Pacquiao, is he lacked the speed and he lacked the experience. Okay? I truly, not to suggest that he couldn't win the fight without experience, because he could have won the fight with experience. But I just think, when I say experience, I believe that in the first couple of rounds, when Algieri felt the speed gap, when he seen Manny Pacquiao was a lot quicker than he was, that took a lot of his confidence away. And psychologically, he started to break down. But if you watch that whole fight, you'll notice around the fourth or the fifth round, Chris Algieri, he started to do better. He started to land clean shots. And it looked like all of a sudden the fight was about to shift in Algieri's, favor. But then Pacquiao, he stepped it up a little bit more, being the great fighter that he is and having the speed that he has. He started to deter Chris Algieri once again. But there were times in that fight where Chris Algieri, he would either land like maybe one good shot, but he wouldn't come back with another shot. Like, for example, if he lands one good right hand, he wouldn't come back with a left hook because he was so worried about the counter. And there was a lot of times in the fight where Manny Pacquiao, he would be all off balance trying to land a knockout blow against Chris Algieri, and Chris would simply take a step back or just elude the shot and not take advantage of it. That's the difference from Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather, he's going to take advantage of Manny Pacquiao being off balance. And I think Chris Algieri, he realizes this. Okay? Now, what's so interesting about the Algieri-Pacquiao fight was, even though Chris Algieri, he lost the fight and it wasn't even close, he still won rounds. And he still made some of the rounds very close. When he wasn't getting knocked down, a lot of those rounds were pretty close until later on when Manny Pacquiao, he kind of got a little bit more aggressive and he started to land more clean shots. But what was interesting is Chris Algieri, he landed the same right hand that Marquez landed. And he also landed a right hand that was very similar to the one that Tim Bradley landed on Manny Pacquiao in the rematch where he staggered Manny Pacquiao. So the point that I'm making is Manny Pacquiao is the type of fighter that does not learn from his mistakes. Even though I will give Pacquiao a little credit in the Bradley rematch, because he did make slight adjustments in that fight. But he's not making big enough adjustments to avoid the same punch that lands over and over again. Okay? If you're a sucker for a right hand and you're going in there with Floyd Mayweather, who we already know has a laser right hand, and what punch do you think is the main punch Floyd is going to be using against a southpaw? It's going to be the right hand. I know this may sound crazy to some people, but if you really want to see how the Manny Pacquiao-Mayweather fight is going to look, I think you should really go back and watch the Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz fight. That's right, I said it. Once again, to the decafs, I'm not saying that Victor Ortiz is just as good as Manny Pacquiao. But what I am saying is Victor Ortiz is a good southpaw. He's a southpaw that explodes very similar to the way Manny Pacquiao explodes. Okay? They are ambush type fighters. So only difference is Victor Ortiz, he doesn't really have the foot speed that Manny Pacquiao has. But he has the hand speed, and he may be even stronger. Matter of fact, I think he is stronger than Manny Pacquiao, power-wise. Okay? So, if you watch that Mayweather versus Victor Ortiz fight, and you just notice the right hands that Floyd Mayweather is landing over and over again. See, the problem with fighting Floyd Mayweather is while fighters are getting set and they're thinking about, what they're going to do next, while you're thinking and strategizing, Floyd is popping you in your face. Another thing Manny Pacquiao has to worry about is Floyd Mayweather's toughness. Floyd Mayweather is arguably the toughest fighter in the sport of boxing. Let me explain why. When you see other fighters get hurt in the ring, you often see them tie up. You see them all of a sudden, they look unconfident. They start to move around. They take off a couple rounds. Like, for example, when Margarito got staggered by Shane Mosley. Margarito was supposed to be the toughest man in the sport. All of a sudden, he gets staggered. He starts moving back. He starts jogging backwards, and he's fighting on the defensive, right? Floyd Mayweather, for example, when he got hurt by Shane Mosley, you know what Floyd Mayweather did? After Floyd Mayweather shook it off for about 5-10 seconds, Floyd Mayweather, he started to walk Mosley down right after Mayweather got hurt by Mosley. You guys go back and you watch that round that Mayweather got staggered in. Mayweather actually won the second half of that round, okay? And when Mayweather was fighting against Victor Ortiz, who I believe is a very strong puncher. Now, if you recall in that fight, at least in the last round of the fight, there were moments when Victor Ortiz, he exploded on Floyd Mayweather with vicious combinations. And, when you're first watching it live, you don't know if Floyd Mayweather is in a little trouble or not. It turned out he was never in trouble. He was completely relaxed. In fact, he was so relaxed that after Victor Ortiz jumped on Mayweather and backed him up to the ropes, Floyd Mayweather, he casually comes off the ropes, and then he starts catching Victor Ortiz with laser-like right hands. I mean, immediately following the Victor Ortiz barrage. So the point that I'm making is Floyd Mayweather is going to make this fight very entertaining. If you hit Floyd Mayweather, guarantee he's going to come right back and hit you, okay? He ain't going to wait 2 minutes to hit you if you catch him with something. If you even throw a barrage of punches at Floyd Mayweather, he's going to come back with something right away, okay? So this ain't going to be no chess match where you got two fighters that's afraid to throw punches. Now, that would be a fight that would be deemed as not entertaining or exciting. This is not the type of fight this is going to be. Manny Pacquiao is explosive. Floyd Mayweather is extremely accurate, which makes for a good fight. So I see this fight as being very exciting. Hopefully the fight gets announced. Floyd Mayweather, he already went on his Twitter and said that, the fight is going down May 2nd, Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. I'm not too much of a big Twitter person, but I'm assuming that was his actual Twitter. And if it was, then that really tells us all we need to know. The fight is going to happen for sure. And, if you guys know anything about that Twitter message that Floyd Mayweather tweeted out, you guys let me know. Okay? But that's pretty much all I got. I'm on to the next one.